Munaf, you put in there, can Jeanty live up to the hype? Can he?
Oh, a discussion to be had for sure. This is the one that makes me nervous if you're a Raiders fan, because there's been a lot of, I guess, MVP tickets and things like that coming in on a guy like Ashton Jeanty. And this has been a team that's look, they're in a position where there's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of new schemes on the offense and defensive side. Of course, new quarterback, Pete Carroll. Now, if you are a Ashton Jeanty guy, the one advantage that you do have is Pete Carroll being the head coach of this football team, right? Because he's an old school guy. He believes in running the football. So I think that's where an advantage is for Ashton Jeanty. And look, last season, Rod, this running back room was an absolute shit show, for lack of better words, right? There was a lot of hype on Zamir White last season. He just wasn't able to contribute, dealt with injuries. I mean, I feel like there was more wide receivers that had rush attempts than actual running back for this team last year. Alexander Mattison, Ameer Abdullah, they just were not able to perform collectively as a group. They had 3.6 yards per carry, only 10 rushing touchdowns last season. The offense was a huge problem. Now it's a brand new regime, like we mentioned, with Pete Carroll, and now with Geno Smith coming over here for this team. And yeah, you drafted Ashton Jeanty in this backfield to come out and be that guy, because we saw what type of college career, especially in his final year, he did have for Boise State. Now you take a look at the first game. Okay, it was his first game at the professional level in the preseason. Rod, 3 carries, -1 yard. Again, I'm not going to take anything away from that. It's just one game. It's only 3 carries. And look, he has the ability to be a possibly 7, 8, 900, rushing yard type of player for this Raiders team. So I as much as I am an optimistic guy, or try to be, I just have questions about the offensive line, if they're going to be able to create those running holes for a guy like Ashton Jeanty. And I'm curious to see, where is the ADP right now for him here, Rod?
So right now, Ashton Jeanty is going off at running back. He's overall 10. He's going in the first round overall.
Wow.
Ninth running back, or sixth running back overall. And in the PPR, he's going off as the sixth running back as well. So, I mean, he's going off in the first round. There's a lot of people with some very high hopes about him. I mean, look, you put up 2,600 yards in college, in a
But it's
season.
college, right? Like
Hey, no argument for me, Munaf. I already told you that I'm not a Boise State fan, so I'm not buying into this nonsense, because it just, to me, this is, like you said, this is the Raiders. He's not going to a running back healthy team,
yeah.
right? He's going to have to run behind an offensive line that only let him get -1 yards in the preseason.
Yeah, and again, we're not taking anything away from that, right? It's 3 carries, it's
You are, I
-1 yard.
am.
Yeah, well, we know where our Rod's allegiance stays here, right? Especially on the West Coast schools and teams. But and you take a look what's behind him, right? Raheem Mostert, a guy that, when healthy, can be very, very good. But the key of it there is when healthy. Zamir White, disappointing season last year, like I mentioned there. So, I don't think there's much of a conversation like he is going to be RB1, but is the fact that, is this a guy that you want to draft in the first round, is my concern. So, well, this is going to be a guy, one player that I've written down that I'm going to keep my eye on as the season starts here, but I'm a little bit more pessimistic when it comes to drafting a rookie running back this early in fantasy. And I think that I would say that do it with caution, because I think it's more so that I don't trust the offensive line here for this Las Vegas Raiders team. And again, that can change with Pete Carroll coming over. But we'll keep an eye on it here. So I just want to mention that. I also want to get your thoughts about Ashton Jeanty. We could get to your battle here for the Raiders.
Hey, look, and good on you. If you want to take a chance on him that early on, and if you want to, and if he explodes for you, then good on you. One thing I don't think we've ever really talked about much over the course of the first. I don't mind being wrong about things, right? I mean, I understand that I have to take a stand and I have to do my research and go where the research leads me. But sometimes, folks, we're wrong. Sometimes in the industry, you make a bad call because you go off of what you see, and the player does something completely different than what you thought they were going to do. That's the world that we live in. And so I'm okay. I'll miss on Ashton. If you beat me, if we're in the playoffs and you've got Jeanty and he goes off and beats me, by all means, I'm going to tip my cap to you because you made a good call. But I'm just not all that convinced yet either. So, Munaf, I'm with you on that. Again, not afraid to be wrong in this instance as well.